Hello everyone and welcome to Learn Photoshop Tools. In this video we're going to talk about the course overview and what we're going to be learning throughout the course. So in section 2 we're going to cover Creative Cloud. I'll show you to set up an account and download the Creative Cloud application. We'll install Creative Cloud and I'll show you how to download Photoshop from the Creative Cloud application as well. In section 3 we're going to talk about Photoshop tools. So we'll cover the following: the Move tool, Rectangular Marquee tool, Lasso, Quick Selection tool, Crop, Frame tool, Eyedropper, Spot Healing Brush, Brush tool, Clone Stamp, History Brush, Eraser, Gradient tool, Dodge tool, Pen, Horizontal Type, Path Selection, Rectangle, Hand tool, Zoom tool. In section 4 we'll conclude the course with a conclusion and talk about what's next. So with that in mind, thanks for watching. I'll see you inside the course. Welcome to section 2 in the Creative Cloud. So in this video, we're going to show you how to set up an account with Creative Cloud. So let's head over to your favorite web browser. In my case, I'm going to use Firefox. Type in Google Adobe Creative Cloud. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Adobe Creative Cloud right here. And you're going to see right here, start your free trial. So I'm going to click on that. And it's 14 days free, then $52.99 a month. So that's for individuals, students and teachers. It's $20 a month. Business, it's $80 a month after 7 days. So I'm going to do individual. We're going to do 14 days free, then $52 a month. So I'm going to start the free trial. And I'm going to put in my email address. So learntech1@gmail.com. I'm going to continue that. Now it's going to require credit card information. So I'm going to pause the video, put my stuff in, and then click on Start Free Trial. Okay, so now you can see that I've set up my ID, but I need to set up a password to sign in. So I'm going to click on Set Your Password. There we go. So I've set my password. I'm going to hit Continue. And we'll save it for now. It's fine. And now what it's going to do is it's going to prompt me to download and install Creative Cloud. So let's save the file. Okay. And in the next video, I'll show you how to install this. I'll see you there. All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to install Creative Cloud. Originally, I was going to download, install, and show you how to do that, but Adobe decided to download it for us. So I'm going to go to the downloads section here in Firefox, open that up. I'm going to double click on Creative Cloud Setup. And it's going to pop up a window saying, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Click yes. Close that out. I'll hit continue. You're all set. You successfully signed in. Feel free to close this browser tab. Okay, so I'm going to close that and then open up this right here. So it's going to install this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and I'll see you when we get to 100%. All right, welcome back. So the installation is complete. And now we're going to go inside of the application. It's going to say, welcome to Creative Cloud. We can take a tour, but in this case, we're going to skip. I'm going to maximize this window. And in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the different sections of Creative Cloud Desktop. So I'll see you there. All right, welcome back. So we've set up our account and installed Creative Cloud. Now let's go to Creative Cloud. So hit the Start menu here, type in Creative Cloud right here. And what I want you to do is right click and pin this to the taskbar just for the moment. And what I want you to do is click on Install on Photoshop. So while that's installing, I'm going to pause the video and I'll come back when it's finished. Alright, so that's finished. So what I want you to do is just click on Open, and that's going to load up Photoshop. And then what we're going to do is unpin Creative Cloud from our taskbar. Actually, let's leave it there, just in case we need it. But I do want to pin Photoshop. So let's right click and pin Photoshop to the taskbar. And I'm going to move Creative Cloud to the right and keep Photoshop as the main tab here. So what you're going to see if I do File New, really, I got a program error. I've never seen that before. All right, let me close this out for a second. I'm going to reopen Photoshop. There we go. I'm going to be honest with you. I've used this a long time. I've never seen that happen before. So it's decided to be a little buggy today. But here is the Photoshop splash page. So when you load the program up, you're going to see the little image pop up first. It'll load everything up, and then you'll get the splash page here. So in the next video, I'm going to go over the File menu. So I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. All right, welcome to section 3, where we're going to talk about the Photoshop tools. So let's go inside of Photoshop here. So I'm going to click on Create New, if it lets me, and then I'm going to go to Photo, and we're going to do Default Photoshop Size. Okay, and I'm going to hit Create. And what we're going to talk about in this lecture is the Move tool. So there are two Move tools. Well, there's one Move tool, but two tools inside of the Move tool menu. So we have the Move tool, and then we have the Artboard tool. Okay, so the Move tool is exactly what it says it is, the Move tool. So if I create a vector rectangle here, okay, so now I have one layer there. If I grab the Move tool, I can move this around. All right. If I hold Alt and drag this out, and I want to maneuver these to where they're close to one another, and I select both layers, I can move both of them with the Move tool. If I hold Alt and drag it over, okay, and I highlight all these, holding Shift and clicking down, I can move them all wherever we need them to go. And if I hold Control and move my mouse around, it's going to show me I'm 270 pixels, 72 pixels from the bottom to the edge of the rectangle here, and I'm 272 pixels from the top of the document to the rectangles here. On the left and the right, we're 62 pixels from the left side and 61 pixels from the right side. So that's the Move tool. Now the other tool we're going to talk about is the Artboard tool. So if we go to where the Move tool is and I right click and I click on Artboard, I can highlight this, I can click and drag, and what that's going to do is give us the option to create more artboards. So we can make an artboard on top, to the left, to the bottom, or to the right. So let's say that we're going to make we want to make that. Okay, now if I zoom out, you can see now I have 4 artboards. Okay, I have the main artboard here, and then I have 3 more. Okay, so if I was doing a storyboard for a course, let's say, and I wanted to put each lecture, each scene, and each individual artboard, I could do that. Okay, and what I could do too is I could highlight all the layers, hold Alt, and then drag it over to Artboard 2. And then if I go back to the Artboard tool, okay, then I can select it and add more. Let me do that again. Here we go. And then click on the plus sign here. Okay, so let's keep the 4 there. And then if I zoom out and I select these rectangles, hold Alt and drag them over, and then do that again. Now I have scenes on each one. And there you go. So that's the Move tool and the Artboard tool. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next lecture. All right, welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about the rectangular marquee tool and the elliptical marquee tool. So let me go to the untitled document here that we never saved. I'm going to do File, Save As, and I'm going to save it to the desktop. Okay, and I'm going to hit Save. I'll hit OK. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work with the rectangular marquee tool. So I'm going to highlight that. So if I click here, and I'm going to zoom into this one right here. So this is Artboard 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all these layers and hit delete. Okay, and then what we're going to do is zoom in one more time. So we just see this one artboard. Okay, so when I select the rectangular tool here and I click and drag, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on a new layer here, and then I'm going to select blue. So we're going to click on the paint bucket, and I'm going to highlight that. And then I'm going to drag this down, so I'm going to hold Alt. Oh, let me go back to the Move tool. There we go. I'm going to hold Alt and drag that down and line it up. And then I'm going to switch the colors here, so I'm going to flip this, or you can hit X to flip it, and then G for the bucket, the paint bucket, and there you go. So now we have 2 different colors. So that's how you use the rectangular marquee tool. Now the other thing we can do is if I right click on the marquee tool, we can grab the elliptical marquee tool. Okay, and what that's going to do is if I create a new layer, I can draw this inside. It's kind of like an oval shape, and if I select, I have the right color selected, so I'm going to select the paint bucket tool and then paste that in. Then if I hold Alt and drag it down and then hit X to flip the colors and then G for the paint bucket, now I can see, I can put the elliptical marquee tool inside of a rectangle. Okay. You also have the single row marquee tool right here. So if I hit that and then hit delete, you're going to see what's going to happen. Absolutely nothing, because I have the wrong layer selected. So what it's going to do is if I put it here and hit delete, it should cut that out, just the one little space. So you see that it cut out just that one pixel there. And then if I go the other way, okay, to kind of make like a bullseye here, and hit delete, now you can see we have kind of a bullseye in the middle. Okay, and I'll do that again down here just to show you again how this works. If I grab the row marquee, the single row marquee tool first, put it around the center, hit delete, then it's going to draw a line right through where we placed it, and then the single column on top, same deal. Now it may not be exactly in the middle, but close. And the idea is just to understand what the tool does, so you can see that's what it does. So if you need a line and you've made a box, for example, you can grab that the single line, single row marquee tool, or single column marquee tool. So this one goes horizontal and the column marquee tool goes vertical. All right. So I'm going to hit Control D to deselect that. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next lecture. All right, welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about the lasso tool. So in Photoshop here, I'm going to right click on the lasso tool here. So we have the lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, and then the magnetic lasso tool. So let's do File, Save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the lasso tool first. Okay, so basically it's going to be a free drawing selection tool. Okay, so once you see the, okay, and if I hit delete, it's going to delete it. If I hit Control Z to undo that, I can hit Control C, Control X to cut and copy, and then Control Shift N for a new layer, and Control V to paste it. Whatever I highlighted with the lasso tool, that's what it's going to select. So think of the lasso as a free selection tool, right? So I can go around here and I can highlight this whole thing. It's going to grab everything inside of my canvas. Now, if I use the polygonal lasso tool, let's look at that. So I'm going to right click on the lasso tool and go to that. Okay, you can see if I hold shift, it'll draw a straight line. If I hold shift, it'll be a straight line. Still shift. Okay. And then I can draw it until I see this little circle, which means I've reached the end point. Okay. So again, the same thing is I can Control C, Control X, and it's going to copy, cut and copy whatever layer I'm on. So layer 3, I could Control V layer 3, and then I'll make another layer. There we go. And that's really the polygonal tool. It lets you, let me select it again here. It's more for straight objects. You don't have to do straight objects with it, but it's very angled. So it's really what it's designed for, is that. So if you're going to do like a polygon, let's say, I'm going to hit Control Z here. Okay, there we go. Control D, I mean. If I was going to do a polygon, very angle oriented, or a triangle, right? So if I wanted to do a triangle of something, it's very easy to do because it's polygonal, creates straight edged selections. So again, that's the idea. Now the last one is the magnetic lasso tool, which is more for, makes a selection by snapping to image edges. So for this example, what it's going to do, and it's going to create points. So you see the points here. And the reason why it does that is then it knows where it is, and it's magnetic. So it's going to magnetically attach to this rectangle because it's realizing that it's an image, right? And then, so this is the endpoint with a little circle. Okay, that's one way to do it. Now the other way, if I'm doing this oval here, same thing. It's going to be magnetic and it's going to attach to it, but you don't want to go too far off because then it's not going to catch it. You have to kind of, this is more of a sensitive tool because, like I said, if we're trying to select this, okay, then you have to use some precision here. And you can do it as long as you are kissing the edge, so to speak. Okay? As long as you pull it towards the edge, it's going to, for the most part, work on its own. Okay, you see how I kind of went off the rails there a little bit, which is okay. I mean, you could, let's try it one more time here, just to get it to, so it does take some practice to get used to it. It's not exactly where I want it, but that's all right. You get the idea. That's the whole point of this, is just to show you how the tools work so that you can utilize them for your projects and be efficient. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next lecture. All right, welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about the quick selection tool. So the quick selection tool is right here. It's right by the magic wand tool. So I'm going to click on quick selection, and you're going to love this tool. This is a very cool tool. So if I go and I zoom in on this octagon here, or polygon, elliptical, okay, and I select the quick selection tool, I'm going to show you the little description here. It's going to make a selection by finding and following the edges in an image. Okay, so you see the example there. So what it's going to do is if I grab, okay, well, it should be cooperating with me, but it's going to grab everything because there's not an image here. Okay, so what I want you to do is let's go to your favorite web browser, and I'm going to go to google.com, and let's look up kittens. Okay, and I'm going to do images, and I'm just going to grab the cutest kitten I can find. So this one right here, and I'll right click on that and just save it to the desktop. Okay, and then I'm going to close this, minimize that, and I'm going to go to the kitten report here, right click and open this in Photoshop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use this quick selection tool to just select the kitten. Okay. So you see what happened there. It grabbed everything because we went outside the scope of the image. But if I try again and we just do this, right? And really the idea behind this, as I goof it up again, the idea behind this is to make it easy to select certain objects in the image. So there we go, success. So if I hit Control C, Control X, I'm going to cut out the kitten from there and then paste the little guy in here. And you can see we still need to do some cleanup, but the idea is you select them and then clean them up in here. Okay, so that's that layer. So if I turn these off, okay, then we can work with the kitten inside of here, and I can use the magic eraser tool to cut that out. Now it's going to, because the tolerance level is so high, if I set it to 10, that should clean it up. There we go. So that's how you use the quick selection tool. Now the magic wand tool, if I right click on the quick selection tool and do the magic wand tool, what that's going to do is it's going to select by the tolerance level here of 32, set range when sampling color. So if it's selecting the same color, so for this example, if I select this right here, it's going to select everything because there's no tolerance, it's all the same color. All right, but if I go for the little kitten here, let's see if I can highlight them. There we go, layer 5. Okay, so you can see here it's grabbing more of the lighter colors here, right? And if I go back here and select this, you can see it's going to select certain parts of the kitten because of the tolerance level. Now if I adjust that to 10, okay, then what it's going to do is it's going to select everything. So you see the selection tools all the way around the canvas. Okay. And I think if you hold shift, you can select multiple spots. Yep, there it is. Okay. So I can select more of the kitten than just this, because this is just going to go by the color. Now, if I set the tolerance to 50, okay, you're going to see it's going to select more of the kitten. Okay. There you go. Isn't he cute? All right. So there we go. And then I dragged him over here. So you can see that it selected most of the kitten, not all of it, but most of it. So I'm going to put him back together again. All right, so that is the quick selection tool and the magic wand tool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next lecture. All right, welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about the crop tool. So I'm going to do File, Save, to make sure we save our progress here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do a crop of the little kitten here. So you can see here we have these little markers all the way around. And one way to do it is you can just drag them all this way. And then we can crop out everything except for the little cute little kitten here. All right, so I'm going to save that. And then let's do File, New. And I'm going to do Photo, default Photoshop size. And I'm going to go to the desktop here and right-click on the little kitten here. And we're going to open him in Illustrator, in Photoshop. Okay, so I'm going to close this out. And then let's try that one more time here. So I'm going to right-click on him, Open With, and we're going to do Photoshop. And so I'm going to hit Control-A, unlock this layer, hit Control-A, Control-C, and then go to Untitled 1 and hit Control-V. And I'm going to hit the E key and erase the background so that we have just the white cat there for the most part. Okay. I'm going to do File, Save As, and we're going to save this as Untitled 12. Hit Save, and I'll hit OK. And now what we're going to do is we're going to crop him out. So I'll show you how this looks when you use the crop tool. If I just click and drag, then I can crop out everything around it and just focus, just get to the focal point here of just doing that right there. Okay, so that's the crop tool. Now the perspective crop tool is kind of like I want to say that it crops an image to correct distortions caused by perspective. Okay, so it's the same idea. You can okay, so we can do that. And then if you click on the check mark, then it's going to crop it. All right. The next thing is the slice tool. So if we were going to optimize this for the web, we would slice this into one slice and then optimize that for the web. Okay. And that's the slice tool. Now the slice select tool is going to let me select slices. So in this case, we only have one, but if we had another slice, then you could select it there. All right. So that's the crop tool, the perspective crop tool, the slice tool, and the slice select tool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next lecture. All right, welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about the frame tool. So let's do File, Save, to save our little kitty image here. And then we're going to go to the frame tool, which creates a placeholder frame for images. So I'm going to click on that, and we're going to drag it here. And then I'm going to hit Open, and we're going to open the cat picture up, or the kitten. And there you go. He's inside a little frame, so you can move him around. And that's really the frame tool. There isn't a lot to it, but it's a very handy tool to have. And if I double click on this, then we can put the image inside of there. And then you can move it around. So I'm going to close the kitten report. I'm going to save this, close that. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to close Untitled 1. All right, so I'll see you in the next lecture. Thanks for watching. All right, welcome back. So in this lecture, we're going to talk about the eyedropper tool, the 3D material eyedropper tool, the color sampler tool, the ruler tool, the note tool, and the count tool. All right, so let's go into Photoshop here where I'm already opened up, and let's go to the eyedropper. So the eyedropper tool samples colors from an image. Okay, so if I click on this, and let me just see what the keyboard shortcut is. So it's the keyboard shortcut is I. Okay, so if I hit V for the move tool and then hit I, now I have the eyedropper. Okay, and if I hit Z, that's the zoom tool, and I click in here, okay, I'm going to zoom in on the kitty here, and then I'm going to hit I for the eyedropper tool. So if I hover over his little eye here, and I click, it's going to give me that color. So light gray If I go to a darker color, let's say this one, okay, then it gives me black. If I click here, it gives me kind of a pink, first pink nose. If I go here, it's more of a lighter, like a darker white. Okay. So let me go to his nose. So that is the eyedropper tool. Now, I use this all the time for a variety of things when I'm picking out colors for my designs or logos. I'll go and I'll get ideas and use the eyedropper to grab the colors and then work from there. So you can see this is kind of like a mix between blue and green. And it gives you the code right here. So that is the eyedropper tool. Now the next tool on here, if I right click and go to the 3D material eyedropper tool, it loads a selection material for a 3D object. Now I don't have a 3D object to show you, but that's what the tool does. It will, like I said, it loads the selected materials from a 3D object. Okay. Next up, I have the color sampler tool. So if I hover over this, it displays the values for colors in an image. So for example, if I go here to the kitty and I click on his nose, it's going to give me the RGB code. So you see right here, I have 196, 124, and 140. And if I go here to his little eye, then it's going to give me that code as well, which is number 2. So it's numbered, so we have 1, 2, and then if I want to get the color of his ear, then it does 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and so on and so forth. You can go on for a while here and select a lot of colors if you need to. But this is a great way to grab all those colors, and then you could create them as a swatch. So if I went to the window and went to swatches, we could create a swatch from that, like this, and we can make it swatch 1, and then you would just do, we'd go to number 2 here, and we would actually use the eyedropper for that. Okay, so on and so forth. Okay, so let me close that. Then the next tool we're going to talk about is the ruler tool. So what this is going to do is it's going to give you a measurement. Okay. Now, let me open up the color sampler tool here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reset the workspace here, and then I'm going to use this tool, and what it's going to do, it'll bring that back, and then what I'm going to do when I bring the ruler tool in here, it's going to give me the measurement. So you can see right here the width is 141 and the height is negative 108, and we are using pixels. Okay, so I'm going to hit File, Save to save this document. And so that's how you use the ruler. Now, if I right-click on the ruler tool and go to Note and click here, I can write this is a note, and over here I can write this is a note number 2, okay? And so if I click on these, if I use the Move tool and then I click on it, it's going to show me the note, okay? Then the final tool that we're going to use in here, if I right click, is the count tool. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? So there you go. That's the eyedropper tool and the toolbar with all the other tools in it. So it's not just the eyedropper, but it's the 3D material eyedropper tool, the color sampler tool, the ruler tool, the note tool, and the count tool. All right, so thanks for watching. Hit Control S for me to save this, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Take care. Congratulations on finishing Learn Photoshop Tools. I hope you found this course informative and helpful in learning the Photoshop tools. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to send me a message. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And I look forward to seeing you in a future course down the road. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.